Tonight, we continue to highlight the Black history makers in Chicago, the people who are breaking barriers and inspiring future generations.
For one man, that meant finding a new calling and an old skill. CBS 2's Stephen Graves explains how he's making changes through the strokes of a paintbrush.
Describing your style, how would you put it?
So I always tell people it's like neo-contemporary abstract. I really focus in on trying to bring color out.
Bringing out color, and for those who view his pieces, greater understanding. Jeff Beckham's new Bridgeport art studio is small and modest, but his pieces are bold.
You know, I wanted to share stories of people in my mind I see as superheroes.
And for him, those are powerful Black figures in American history, people of color owning their own stories. Why do you think the medium of art speaks differently?
I think it breaks down barriers. It's important that we actually get to tell these stories the way that they were actually laid out.
Like Ruby Bridges, the 6-year-old girl who stood up for school desegregation in New Orleans. Beckham originally saw this picture with the N-word next to it.
The reason why I painted that piece and I put Queen next to her was to change the narrative.
And King next to Chicago's Emmett Till, who was 14 years old when he was lynched in Mississippi. The youth mentor puts these pictures in the background during his video sessions.
I do it intentionally because, again, it's all about mirroring, right? Giving our young people access to a focal point of someone that they can be like.
That mirror mentality is personal to the 40-year-old. He first saw art through these drawings by his father. He studied it but stopped short of pursuing it. His focus shifted to engineering. The passion wasn't there until transitioning to interim CEO of nonprofit Chicago Scholars, helping thousands of low-income youth get into college. He also works with a group 100 Black men, but a close friend's untimely death turned him to painting only 2 years ago. He's already sold 500 pieces.
Losing him and seeing what he had done and accomplished in such a short amount of time told me, go. It's time. What are we waiting on? And if we continue to wait, we'll miss the mark and the opportunity to help someone else.
It's become even more of a calling since the death of George Floyd and the protests that followed.
Something clicked. I was out with some of my students protesting peacefully, and I saw the power, I saw the emotion, and it triggered the same within me. And when I grew up, I always said I wanted to either be a superhero or a Black history figure.
Those two paths now merged into one, the goal inspiring others to do the same. Stephen Graves, CBS 2 News.
Multi-talented indeed. Well, Beckham will hold his first gallery opening this month.